Good morning, collective. So I was trying to do this yesterday. However, technology. Hey, maybe even the retrograde. Who knows? Um, what I do know is that I won't focus too much on the negativity because it is a sensitive time right now, and it's giving spiritual warfare. That's what it's giving here, and it's quite intense. I do have messages, as you guys know, so I'm just gonna go down from one to how many we got. Okay, first one: the man you're going to marry. Okay, um, the man that's gonna become your husband. It is still under construction because they have to leave something. It could be a belief system. It could be a home. It could be morals and values from family traditions. Okay, this is something of this nature, and it's gonna be quite sad when that happens. I wouldn't necessarily call it like a cord cutting, but I feel like in order for them to become like your husband, they have to leave certain things behind, because it won't be aligned with him when he becomes your husband. There's this, like, there's a transition period from a boy to man, a man to oh, I don't know. Yeah, sorry, a boy to teenage, a child to young adult, from young adult to an adult, like that whole transition period. Um, Similar to how people have, like, quote unquote midlife crises, because, and in parentheses, that's basically um, you going through a spiritual awakening. Any crisis that you have, um, that is named midlife crisis, spiritually, it's a spiritual awakening. Your soul is trying to come back to itself. And if you don't do it, there is time periods when your soul is like, fuck it. And that's why a lot of people do 360 during certain times in their life. I feel like mainstream wise, because the statistic, the numbers is quite high during certain times. That's when that's like the saying. Okay, that's what's on paper. But you can literally have a midlife crisis like every day. Okay, um, you evolving spiritually is the same way as you evolving in your flesh. Okay, I will say this though: it's much more easier evolving in your flesh than evolving spiritually, because spiritually, in order to maintain that, you have to have a lot of strength to stay in that maintenance. So, you know what? I think I'm. Anyways, long story short, your husband needs to become your husband instead of becoming or being not your husband. Okay? So they're preparing themselves. Another example I can add to the list is, if you're going to move, if you're going to start a family. I know a lot of people do things on impulse, and that's them. And sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. Um, in this scenario, this is more so whereas God, um, your spiritual team have stepped in order to prepare your person for you. Um, so when you guys come together in union, there won't be any confusion. There won't be any, like, I don't know how to act like a husband. and this particular reading, if that makes sense, okay? And though it's not for feminine energy, it goes to both ways. You're preparing yourself for your husband as well as he is preparing yourself for you. And this is just a message that I got. The person that you're going to marry is preparing themselves when it comes to becoming your husband, okay? In order for them to do so, they have to leave certain things, a place, um, values, values in terms of traditional, like mindsets, belief system, things of that nature. Because if they bring that to the table, uh, it could become an obstacle in the union. Okay. Sorry, guys, for over explaining, but let's move on. Okay. Message number two. For those that are wondering if I am a psychic, because I was also tuning into that right after that specific message. Yes, I am. You can call it a psychic if you want to. Some people call it a spiritualist. Some people call it an intuitive energy reader. Some people call it a messenger from God. Some people call it um, somebody being spiritually gifted, or sorry, inclined. Um, Prophet is also another word for it. Um, Clairvoyant, um, all that, you know. But I say this to say, as much as I am in this part of spirituality, I'm pretty sure that the majority and entities and energies know that my belief system will always answer to the Most High, Elohim, God Himself. Um, I will always rock with my belief system in that sense, where it's like I know who Jesus is, and Jesus knows me. I know what God is. I know who, in the essence of the Holy Spirit. I also know about prophets from other like books and places. You know, I know about uh, the Prophet Muhammad. I know, like, when I say I've read theology and religion, yeah. But at the end of the day, you know, YouTube is YouTube. So yeah, I wouldn't mind you guys calling me a psychic, or you, the specific person. Um, but just know the messages are from the divine, okay, from God. Um, and I guess you don't care as long as the messages comes out. It's whatever, you know. Um, yeah, yeah. I wouldn't call myself a tarot reader though, because I know that's a part of the spiritual community, or even astrology. Even though I know that back to back, because I would say this: astrology and card reading, okay, tarot, oracle, you can study that. There are classes to study that, okay. When you're spiritually inclined, gifted from God, you cannot study that, okay? A gift cannot be studied, okay? Um, so there is that. Because if you don't know, even if I don't do this on YouTube, I'll still get messages, okay? Even if I go silent, or I stop, if I stop doing this completely, I'll still get messages. It might lessen over time in terms of what type of um, gift that I'm utilizing at the moment, but at the end of the day, it will come in one way or another. So I didn't mean to sound conceited. I feel like I'm sounding conceited right now. Sorry. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Okay. Let's continue. Um yeah. So the following messages here are like kind of clumped in together. So something about Tuesday, okay? Somebody could also be from my ancestors' homeland, okay, from Ghana. Somebody's could have the name Abna, Abna, Abna. Okay, you could be born on a Tuesday, or that could be your name. Something about some sort of blood work or blood. I keep hearing blood in my ancestors' like native language. Okay, so that in itself, I'm just linking blood to as in um, like generations. Okay, people that are like your family in that sense. Okay, so I don't know, and then we also got um where I'm from. Okay, uh, where I'm living, where I'm originally born, and which is in Sweden, in Europe, in one of the Nordic countries. I was tuning into the hospital. Okay, so like the general hospital of the city I live in, and then also a bank called Nordea, as well as Region Skåne, and then following by Abna, as well as blood. So maybe somebody has some sort of blood issue, okay, or maybe they're like they mixed up your blood, or you're doing a blood transfusion. The card I was trying to shuffle the cards, and they came out pretty weird. So we got soulmate in reverse, and then we got self sabotage. Then we got communication in reverse, and then we got self love and pride. So somebody is trying to do something towards your soulmate, trying to ruin that, trying to make sure that you don't speak up in relation to you knowing thyself. Okay, you could have left your person, or a person could have left you, and it's because of some sort of blood work that took place. But nobody is saying anything now. I will say this though, this feels so specific, but if you resonate in the sense of like you don't live in the city and this is not your name, and your soulmate has decided to uh, part ways with you because of lack of communication, it's because some sort of blood work was done. I really hope I'm making sense. This is why they left. So I want you to notice the signs because this is accurate here. Right now, your advice is to stay patient, which is wait right now. And if, yeah, wait, number one. And also, number two, if you have any sort of like sexual urges or is dating somebody and you want to like go out and wild, go crazy because your person left you, don't do that. Okay, that is also a trick. So if you can, stay um abstinent from intimacy right now. um okay, like it's very good. And you might also think this is going to sound so absurd that this person left you because you didn't want to have sex, so the sex wasn't good, something of this nature with your guys' intimacy. That's not the case. There was some sort of blood magic situation going on here, which is why your person left. And they could have said something whereas like the sex wasn't good or whatever, or yeah, something, yeah, for sure. uh don't cave into that because there's something that needs to get healed. Okay, cleansed. Number one, cleansing is very important. Now, um I'm not somebody that's religious, though I have my belief system. Prayer is good. Okay, pray. Okay, go to church, or have church by yourself. You can do egg cleansing as well. Take some sort of spiritual bath. 444 in the clock. It was in the 1111. This person could be your twin flame. I'm not quite sure. I know for a fact this is soulmate. What you can do in terms of anyone that's in a twin flame situation, please get your clarification from the divine, from God. Just like you're watching videos for confirmation and you're like, yeah, this resonates, get your answers from God, okay? Whoever you believe in, but let it be source because I feel like it would be just much easier. Get that confirmation when it comes to your twin flame because that journey is not human experience, okay? It's a spiritual experience. Um, Even though we're spiritual people having human experience, uh, you having a soulmate, it differs from you having a twin flame. Okay, it's much more deeper and bigger than what it is on paper. Okay, quote unquote mainstream wise. So it's very existential. Whether your name is Abnao, whether you are, and when I say blood, going back to that, is people in your family that is messing up your connection with this person. Okay, so I need you to like stay on top of your prayer game, cleansing game, all of that is critical, okay? Like I'm not just talking to it's critical, okay? Um and you have to stay strong in faith, okay? I just need to answer this.